Hi, my name is Eric Silva, and I am the writer of Por él, Aunque Mal Pague.
Por ellas, aunque mal paguen.
And I'm going to be answering some questions from our fellow writers. The first question, Carlos Estrada. Besides being the title of a movie that the first father and son shared, and later grandfather and grandson, is there a deeper connection between the title of this play and what happens in it? So the movie that they watch is a movie, it's a Pedro Infante movie from 1952. It's called Por ellas, aunque mal paguen. And so this movie is basically about a family that's trying to marry off their daughters into a wealthy family. And they end up marrying some guy, and who's actually Pedro Infante's son, Angel Infante. He actually realizes that they're in it for the money. So he pretends that he doesn't have any money to see what the reaction is going to be from this family. So it turns into this big ordeal where they go to his rancho and they find out, and he lies to them and says that he stole the money just to impress them. So then what happens is that this family now is stuck in a rancho and actually has to work. So they start working hard and actually realizing that that they're actually getting more out of of sweating and working from the sweat of their brow than trying to fool people. So then in the end, the woman actually realizes that she really does love him. And then there's a part where he says, Pedro Infante comes out and he tells his brother, he's what? Siempre por ellas aunque mal paguen. And it's you're still for them, even though they paid you bad. He's like, yeah, always, because you realize that the journey is what is the most important part. So now you change it onto this movie, and it's very similar. At least I see it, because our parents. I mean, I'm a son of immigrants, and this story is very autobiographical in a sense, because as much as our parents do, for us, they're not perfect. You're still going to be there for them. You're still going to lift your glass for them and say, por él aunque mal pague, Our father, like my dad, we have a great relationship. Not everything in the story is based on my family, but I think in the story, these are two people that love each other. There's a lot of love, but they don't always express it. They have different ways of expressing it. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of love. So at the end of the day, siempre vas a brindar por él, aunque mal pague. Our second question comes from Isabel Garcia. What is it about Victor moving away that makes Roberto finally open up about his feelings? What is that movie about? Is it symbolic of their relationship? How did Victor reconcile the rejection from his dad as a child? So first question was, what is it about Victor moving away that makes Roberto finally open up? So like I said, these are two men that love each other. They don't always show it. There's a lot of love. So Roberto, who's the father, for a long time was just putting it off. He saw his son, they could be civil, they could be in the same room together. And for a long time that was enough, because he still had him there. But now he's at a crossroads where I got to do something now, because my son is going to leave. I either go this way and let him go without telling him what I felt and how that I'm sorry about what I've done, or I tell him right now and I express my feelings. So Roberto feels that this is the moment. This is it. It's now or never. Phoenix is only, this takes place in Los Angeles. It's only 6 hours away, but 6 hours is a long way. And, little by little, who knows what Victor would have done, once, maybe twice a year, come visit type of deal. And Roberto sees that, and he knows that he's put it off for so long. And now he sees he's built a relationship with his grandson, and he feels that this is the moment that he has to do it. This is the moment. And that's why Roberto feels that if he doesn't, he might lose his son forever. Now, the second question to that was, what is the movie about? Is it symbolic of their relationship? And like I explained in the other question, this movie is about, forgiving that person and knowing that maybe they weren't, maybe their mind wasn't clear, or there was there was adversity that was going on that they might not have been able to act in a certain way. So it goes back to what I was saying. At the end of the day, he still loves his father. He still loves him. There was a lot of good that his father still did, even though at times, he wasn't the best father. How did Victor reconcile the rejection from his dad as a child? Well, he had a great mother. His mother played the role a lot of mother and father, and she was there for him and, you know, protected him, and also always let him know that his father wished he could be there. And he knew, you know, that the mother always made it a point to tell the son, you got to understand where your dad's coming from. And that's what helped him realize that. And as Victor got older, he started to realize that his father, you know, was a good man, is a good man. He was a hardworking man, and he sacrificed a lot too. You know, he knows that his dad had, you know, hopes and dreams as a kid, and he was probably never able to achieve them. He came to the United States for a better life and found himself working, you know, 12-hour days, trying to put food on the table. So it was a tough life for him. So he started to reconcile the things that he went through as a child. And as an adult, he realizes that he has to be better and, you know, and get all the good from his father, but also work on the things that his father was lacking. So he knows that his dad's a good man, but he also knows that he doesn't want to hear it if his dad is going to tell him about parenting sometimes. When Victor hears his dad telling him about why he's going to take Alex away, he doesn't want to hear it because he knows that his dad probably lacked in that area, but he was a hard worker. He got that, he graduated from college, he did everything that he had to do. It's a relationship, like I said, there's a lot of love, but just because there's love doesn't mean there's not going to be tension. These are two individuals, and yeah, you know, he still loves his father he still loves him, and he doesn't feel, how could I explain it? He loves his father. That's all I want to say. And the final question, which is my favorite, is from Moises Rodriguez. Why did your play make me cry? Well, I could only speak for myself, and you write about what you know. So I could only imagine maybe Moises that you have a similar situation, maybe. But I would say that if somebody asked me, why does this play make you cry? I think it's because of the relationship that we have with our parents as being, at least myself, as being a son of immigrants. Like I said, our parents, you know, they come to a country, they don't know the language, they don't know, you know, they might not know the language. All they know is that they have to work. They leave their families behind, and they come here and they make a new family, and they got to move forward. You know, this is a story that, like I said, resonates highly with me because I lived a lot of it with my father, and we have the best relationship now. And you know, our parents would do anything for us. At least my parents did and would, and I could. You know, I hope that came across. And if you're saying that it made you cry, you know, that's the point. It should, you know, make you feel something, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's a struggle. Our parents, you know, they're out there doing the best they can with, you know, like they say, what's the old adage? There's no manual to being a parent. And, you know, Roberto just worked and worked, and, you know, never ask for a thank you or anything, but he couldn't be there for his kids. But he loved his kids, and he loves his kids, and he loves his grandkids, and he loves his wife, and he loves his family. That's all he does. He gets up every morning for his family. And sometimes, you know, as kids, we don't see that. You know, you're always with the open hand, give me money or give me this, and, you know, you don't take a moment to realize the sacrifices that your parents have made to get you to where you are now. So I feel that, you know, maybe that's why my play made you cry, because it made you feel something that I feel or that I felt growing up. Thank you very much for listening to